researching into this a little bit, as far as just playing around with some tools and figuring out what exactly I wanted to do for this shape. I still wanted to have that that small serration type of effect there, going over the edges of these rings. So I was like, how would I do that best? What's the best way to do that? There wasn't any procedural, like any radial procedural that I could find here on inside Substance Painter. If I could find lines kind of projecting from a middle point, then that would work. But I was able to find this shape Capsule Alpha, and I did some mild testing to see what that would look like, and it doesn't seem too bad. So that's what I'm basically going to do with this model, is kind of treat this as a brushing motion. If of course, if my brush setting is correct, I can do tangent wrapping. And what that's going to do is when I'm painting here in my UVs, it will find the other UVs associated with that and also paint that effect into that area. So here's my demonstration for that. I can now paint in a straight line, playing around with my spacing and the size of my brush and everything, and I should have the opportunity to kind of just like fold this guy. And let me change the color to black here for my for anybody that's visually watching this. Once again, I'm working in a fill node, which is the more efficient way of working inside Substance Painter if you can tolerate it and if you can have it. Okay, working in fill layers like this is going to give me the opportunity to edit what I want to work with there. What exactly is in my layer. So once again, I'm also using a paint effect. If I wanted to have any more control as far as blurring this effect out or maintaining it, then I would lose that if I simply just painted directly into the mask. I mean, I could do that, but it really handicaps me as to my possibilities here. So I'm going to click over here, and then I'm just going to drag. Clicking and dragging with Shift selected allows me to do something like this, and then I could put those dotted lines there, and you'll see what's happening now. Okay, that one line right there was my I kind of started this a little bit late. I guess I need to pull it a little bit further. I don't know why it's starting so far off like that. Let me try. I think I need to put it like right there. I need to click right there on the end, and maybe that'll work better. No, it's giving me even more of a space. So let me start it all the way over here, and then end it all the way over here. Wow, what the heck is happening here? Something's going wrong. I don't know why, but you can see there though that let me lower the size maybe. You can see how much that shape is wrapping around those UVs though, and giving me that ridged effect. Even though that my UV seams are right here, you can see that it's continuing the effort down the sides there, which is really important. That's what I'm kind of looking for there. It's enough for me to put height where I need to and all that good stuff. So, all right, now I'm just gonna have to manually go in here and notch this guy in. Doesn't seem like it, hurt things too much. Okay, so that effect right there is exactly what I wanted. So let me try to find this other shape here too. Let's try to find that. Now I'm gonna hold Alt to see. Okay, so it's this guy right here, I'm guessing. So let's try this again on this shape. Just kind of clicking and dragging. And there we go. It looks like we're getting some mild I'm getting some mild painting on these little limbs right here. Again, that's another area that I don't know why it's falling short on those. And this one, just put it in there manually, I guess. Let's try this out a little bit better here. All right, there, that looks better. Yeah, so gonna have to even it out a little bit on some of that stuff there. Okay, and now with that stuff selected, I'm gonna come over here to my shapes tool and just fill this guy in black. I don't want that guy receiving any of my information. Why didn't you do the whole shape? Whole shape. Get this stuff too, please, por favor. All right, let's try UV shell then. UV shell maybe? Fill it in black. Why? All right, we're gonna have to do this. Something's going wrong here. Oh, okay. Sorry, once again, I was painting in the wrong area. I need to make sure I'm painting in the paint node, right? I was painting in the mask by itself there, and that was bad. Okay, so now I got that masked off and the effect the way that I want it to. Keep on rolling with this. So now that we have that determined, let's see what I'm gonna do with this, because I don't, you know, if I'm gonna put some color in there, it's not gonna be anything too dark. In fact, I'm probably just gonna make this multiply. That way, whatever color I put in there, it's still gonna be there underneath. You know, I haven't even determined what my base material is for that shape. I don't think it's gonna be gold though. It seems a little weird. Color scheme I kind of picked for my hand guard here is a little bit different than that. I could pull some height out though. Get a little bit of height there. Don't go too crazy with height once again, all right? If I take the color off, you'll see what it's doing there. And it's like, that's enough to get the job done, right? And I also chose not to go so thin with the lines like this one has. I went a little bit bigger because it's a little bit nicer to over-exaggerate that stuff with bigger shapes. That way I also know that, you know, if this thing pixelates excessively and compresses down really bad, then that's just going to turn into one big blur. So you want to have some effects in there that are indeed going to render the right way. So let me see. So, you know what? I don't think gold shouldn't be too bad. We'll see what it looks like. You know what? I think I should make it the same material as my handle guard here, possibly, but maybe not with the raw filter. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what this looks like. I'm just gonna come back over to that. Click on my shape here and just make those the same kind of brass material. Let's, you know, just kind of take a step back and look at it. It's hard to see with the lines there. Let's just go into 3D view here. I don't really need this anymore. Alrighty, not too bad. I think those should be different shapes though. They should be different colors, truthfully. We'll work with color scheme here, because right now I'm kind of, you know, the one thing that did also need to happen was that this shape also over here needed to be the same color as this. I'm going to want to do that. Here we go. So if I go to base color, yeah, masking, good. Now my sword is actually gray. If we come over to base color, I have more of a steel shape for that, and these guys should be, it should look different. It should be mildly different. Let's try to go for that gold tint there. Bring in some more color. Not too crazy. Make it very mild. Roughness, bring it down a little bit. Get a little bit shinier. All right. But yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna change the material of this internal shape here. I'll just use a different material for that. Let me work on this material here first. I'm make it a little bit shinier. Okay. Now, what's happening here, though? I mean, we have the metal effect. We should be getting the reflections in there, I would say. You know, I like that it's a different color now. That looks cool. Maybe I'll do like a steel color for this. Kind of break it up that way. But there's an overall just a lack of material effects on this shape though, because I'm making my own material here. I need to get some more material effects in there to do that. So what I'm going to do here, see if I can find a good grunge or a noise, some kind of procedural. I want to put a little bit of a speckle in this. And I want to see if I can do that. Gaussian spots. Fractal sum. I'm trying to just see if I can find a good effect here, because I'm basically just going to slap this into my roughness and see if I can tweak some of those values a little bit there, but Perlin noise. I like that. Let's see what this does. I'm obviously going to need to scale it a little bit more. Okay. Noise parameters scale. Crank it up a lot. Wow. That's all you're giving me? Put like a 1 in front of there? Nope. That's all it gives me is that much. That's unfortunate. I wish, you know what? Here we go. This is my problem, is I just need to scale this. Alright. So maybe just a little bit more. Okay. I think that'll get the job done. We can't go, once again, we can't go too low with this. Now, I need to change what's happening here. I like the contrast, but we need to play around with balance. Oof. Okay. Let me just scale it up a little bit more. All right. It's feeling a little bit better. Probably play around with balance a little bit more. There we go. Now I've got that little tinge in there to kind of make this guy feel more realistic, right? I hope that looks cool. I hope that effect makes sense to everybody. I think some edge wear on here is also going to help out a little bit with tarnishing that metal. So that should do a good little number on that material there. Maybe just a little bit more. We're almost there. Almost. Maybe I should pull down on the contrast a little bit. Make this just a softer effect. Then play with the balance. Bring the balance down a little bit more. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Not looking too bad now. Little tiny touches, and that's what you want to set your model up for, is that opportunity to give your model those little tiny nudges in the right direction there, okay? And from here, now that I have a material in this, I'm gonna mask this guy out, because I really don't want this guy being in there anymore. There we go. I need to make sure I'm saving my stuff, my naming my things. AO overlay. This guy belongs in the top. Okay, this is my goldish. Let's go speckled goldish. Okay. Now this was my raw filter. Let's see what we got here. Let me show you what's happening. Okay. This shape right here was my raw filter. So I went over to filters and grabbed the raw for the raw metal to get like that corroded, pitted kind of effect in there. So that's what I did for that. That's very much metal. That's how it corrodes. It's a good surface effect there. I feel like I need to mask some of that out though. So I will work on masking that out a little bit. But what I also did with that effect was, since you don't really have any maps to play around with in here, that you don't have like the grunge map that this filter is using and all that, and it's putting things in really cool places. But I have no control over like how it's masking itself really. But this is what I did with that matte finish, okay? This is my banding for the gold bars. Make sure that you organize your stuff. My matte finish, what I had to do was put an anchor point in that though, okay, and put a dirt. I referenced that anchor point with micro details here, with micro normals, and plug that micro normals into my matte finish raw. So this was the raw dirt. So I put a dirt filter in there, and it's collecting in those pit-like shapes. So I thought that was a pretty cool effect there. So I gotta make sure that I'm keeping this stuff together. This is my hand guard. Good job, D button, for making it in there. There we go. So I've got that guy there. It's my speckled goldish stuff. I don't even know what this thing's called. I'm just gonna call it like guard bracket. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna call it guard bracket, but bracket banding. And then put this in a folder too, and call that guard bracket. So that way, you know, I know what all this stuff is doing. All right. So once again, though, like I have this fill node here, the banding, but I'm really only using height. So let's see what else I can get in there. I could put a little bit of base color in there. Once again, I set this to multiply. So let's look at base color here. So with it set to multiply, you know, I can kind of lighten up on it. And this is only controlling the opacity of my base color, this slider. If I come over to height, I'm still at 100% and all that, okay? I got a small little influence on base color. Let's see if we can put some roughness in there too. If that is truly dirt, then I'm gonna want to make a little bit of a notch in roughness. That way that dirt is you know, kind of cranking that value out a little bit. Just a little bit of a caking in there with that serration. I wouldn't say it's, I mean, let me see this map real quick. I am getting some grays in there, so I mean, dirt would also, if it's a heavy enough dirt, it could also take away from the metal. I'm not really sure I want to turn off the metal though, because that is probably going to put some gray values in my metal. I don't really want that. But, you know what? It's not too bad. We'll stick with it. We'll see what it does. But now you can see with those extra channels, instead of it just being height, putting some of that stuff in there too, makes it kind of pop out a little bit more, and not just be like a, you know, metallic speckle effect in there. All right. I think I need to determine this material now, because it's starting to bug me. I mean, I could paint that effect in, you know, or have it let it be painted material. Let me see what this handguard looks like. Just let's put a fill. I'm just gonna make my own material. Smart materials aren't gonna do everything for me. Black mask. I only want you influencing this shape. There we go. I'm masked out just to that shape. We'll figure out what's happening with that error. I guarantee you it's got to be some effect that's not working out the right way. Okay, I don't really need height or normal. Probably not AO either. Metal needs to be up. We are rocking a metal color. There we go. So now you can see that absorption of light happening there. Let's see what base color we had for this guy, because I want to grab the same base color as what's happening here on the blade. And probably even copy the roughness too, maybe. I'm not giving me much control over that. I can't I can't pick it the way that I really want to. All right. So there we go. Maybe we'll try a little bit darker. Slightly darker on the base color. Nothing too crazy. Okay. I still think it's probably too shiny too. Just kind of matte it out a little bit more. You know, maybe this hand guard was kind of, maybe this is an older piece that was passed down, but the katana itself is being replaced, you know? Maybe this is like a family crest that's kind of continuing onwards there. Alright. Not too bad. I kind of like that. I feel like I also, in all truth, I feel like the pommel should probably get the same gold treatment. Let me see if I can just, let's just get that same guy in there. Mask this guy out. Same. Get that speckled look in there, right? Now, what's nice about these folders that I'm making is I could put a mask in that folder. So anything that I put in that folder, you know, if I wanted to put edge wear on just these two shapes, you know, I could just mask off. Instead of me masking this out, here's what I can do is I can copy the mask. Make a white mask here and just paste into this mask. Ooh, it's giving me the opposite. I need a black mask, and I need to paste into the mask. There we go. Make sure you're working the right direction there. So now if I look at the mask of this channel, it's giving me that. So in all that I do with this folder, I can actually delete the mask here. I can completely remove mask, and it's still only applying to those two areas. And now I could do something like edge wear. Just put like another fill node in here. Black mask. Put a generator in there and kind of plug in an edge wear. And now you see that generator is only applying to that stuff. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And truthfully, this is another opportunity as well for me. You know what? If I put this edge wear beneath my banding, there we go. It should kind of do its job to kind of mask it out. So that's also good. I'm glad that that's working for me. All right. I don't want this taking away from too much. Yeah, it's going to be roughness, maybe a little bit of height. A little bit of height down in here. There we go. Just subtle, very subtle. Now I need to play around with the generator to really see this thing in action. Wear level's nice. I feel like it's the curvature weight though that's probably just too intense. These curvature guys giving me a work for my money here. Grunge scale. Let's increase it a little bit. You just kind of have to play around with some of these guys too. Let's try AO masking. Nope, that didn't work. Let's just look at the mask and see what it's doing, right? So that's what it's doing. I want to get a little bit of this in here again though. you know what? I don't think it's gonna let me do much of that. Because I do still, I want some wear on my interior here. There we go. I'll just take the contrast down maybe. Seems to be triplanar in a way. You know, the more grunge that I have, that also is helping things out. There we go. Just pull down on the weight a little bit. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Woof. Alright, that's a little bit too crazy. Raise the contrast. Lower the wear level. There we go. Just a little bit. And it seems to be accumulating more over here, so that's good. Alright, just some subtle edge wear in there. It's going to take a little tweaking, right? Now, from here, I may also, you know, let's try a little bit more in the curvature weight now. Just a little bit extra. There. Okay, I like that. In fact, the settings that I'm choosing here don't even really, I would say they don't even really require me to put my normal edge wear kind of grunge overlay inside of there, because it seems to be pretty isolated. So, you know, I'm liking where it's at right now. Now let's see what this material can do though. Like a, you know, base color probably isn't going to be too much different. So I need to grab that base color, just snag it so it's the same color. Probably just maybe add a little bit of more brightness in there. Like that. Okay. Roughness is probably where I want the emphasis of this to be though. Just a little bit more roughness, and you see how that kind of darkens it up a little bit, just because it's not shining as much. Still fully metal, okay? Still relatively the same color, very slight. A little bit of height, a little bit of roughness. No effect on the metallic. Okay, it's good enough. Gets the job done. Now I feel like my my gold here, my speckled goldish, is a little bit too shiny. So I don't know. Let's look at the pummel too. I want to see what that looks like, because I did this. Yeah. Not too shabby. But yeah, I think just a little bit too shiny now. Let's raise the balance up a little bit, just slightly. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Objective achieved. It's got that nice, like, ancient kind of wear to it. Okay.